Air India Flight AI-171 crashes near Ahmedabad, killing 270. Deadly takeoff ends in catastrophe. In what has become one of the deadliest aviation disasters in recent Indian history, Air India Flight AI-171, a Boeing 787 Dreamliner en route from Ahmedabad to London Gatwick, crashed into a hostel building shortly after takeoff on June 12, 2025, killing at least 270 people. The aircraft, carrying 242 people on board, slammed into the BJ Medical College student housing complex, causing further destruction on the ground and claiming the lives of many unsuspecting individuals. This catastrophe has not only sent shockwaves through the aviation world but has also devastated families in both India and the United Kingdom, as many passengers were either returning from vacations or traveling for work and studies. Emergency declared just seconds after departure. The flight took off at 13:38 IST, and within the first minute of its ascent, the pilots made a mayday call indicating an emergency. According to aviation officials, the aircraft reached an altitude of just over 600 feet before suddenly losing thrust and nosediving into a densely populated urban sector. Witnesses reported hearing a loud sputter from the engines, followed by a terrifying silence and then a thunderous crash. Initial assessments by investigators suggest potential engine thrust loss, flap misconfiguration, or critical systems failure. However, the final cause remains under investigation by the Directorate General of Civil Aviation, DGCA, and international aviation authorities. Casualties and the lone survivor. Among the 242 people on board, 241 were killed on impact. The only survivor, a British citizen named Vishwash Kumar Ramesh, was seated in seat 11A and sustained minor injuries. He managed to crawl out of the wreckage before the fuselage was fully engulfed in flames. His miraculous survival amidst total devastation has garnered international attention. On the ground, at least 29 students and staff from the hostel were also killed, bringing the estimated death toll to around 270. Emergency responders noted that over 60 people on the ground sustained injuries, some in critical condition, with many trapped under the collapsed structure and debris from the aircraft. Captain's heroic final act. The pilot in command, Captain Samit Sabharwal, is being remembered as a hero by many in the aviation community. With over 8,200 flying hours, he reportedly veered the aircraft away from more populated areas in a final effort to reduce ground fatalities. Sadly, this effort cost him and his crew their lives. According to Air India, the aircraft, registered as VTANB, had been in service since 2014 and had recently undergone engine maintenance, including a replacement of the right engine 3 months prior. This maintenance history is being thoroughly reviewed as part of the broader investigation, particularly regarding the Gen X-1B67 engines built by General Electric. Black box recovery and global investigation. The black boxes, flight data recorder, FDR, and cockpit voice recorder, CVR, have been recovered from the site and are currently undergoing analysis. These devices are expected to provide crucial insights into the final moments of the flight, including system performance, communication between crew members, and exact control inputs made during the emergency. Investigators from the IB, UK, and NTSB, US, have joined Indian officials in the ongoing probe. According to early reports, no bird strike was involved, and weather conditions were clear at the time of departure, further narrowing down the cause to mechanical or procedural failure. Air India and Boeing under pressure. The crash has had significant repercussions for Air India and Boeing. Boeing has come under fire as this marks the first ever fatal crash involving a 787 Dreamliner. Air India immediately grounded several 787s in its fleet for safety inspections and cancelled multiple international routes as a precaution. Boeing's stock dropped sharply following the incident, and the company has pledged full cooperation in the investigation. Meanwhile, Air India, now operated under the Tata Group and Singapore Airlines joint venture, has come under public scrutiny, especially after delays in crisis communication and perceived lack of transparency in handling grieving families. Lives lost, faces behind the numbers. One of the most emotionally devastating aspects of this disaster is the sheer number of young lives lost. Many of the hostel residents were first-year medical students, just starting their academic journey. Entire families were decimated, including a newly engaged couple from the UK, Hardika Vaiya and Vibhuti Patel, who had visited India for wedding planning. Also among the dead was former Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani, adding a political dimension to the tragedy and prompting an outpouring of condolences from national leaders. Recovery, identification, and mourning. As recovery efforts proceeded, Forensic teams were forced to rely on DNA evidence to identify many victims, as bodies were badly charred and unrecognizable. Families from India and abroad flew into Ahmedabad for assistance and updates, and the BJ Medical College was temporarily closed for mourning and repairs. Psychological support centers were established for survivors, families, and students who witnessed the horror unfold before their eyes. The Indian government announced compensation packages, and Air India pledged to support all affected families, including those impacted on the ground. Implications for aviation safety. In response to this crisis, aviation authorities across Asia and Europe began reviewing 787 maintenance records, particularly focusing on GE engine variants. Questions are also being raised about flight path safety, especially around major airports that are adjacent to populated zones. There is growing public demand to re-evaluate how Indian airports handle emergency takeoffs and landings, especially for wide-body jets like the Dreamliner. Although rare, accidents like this serve as painful reminders of the unpredictable nature of air travel and the constant need for safety improvements. Next steps and ongoing inquiry. In the weeks to come, India's DGCA is expected to release a preliminary report, and a full technical investigation will follow within 6 to 9 months. Experts believe that the crash could lead to policy changes in engine maintenance, flap calibration procedures, and crew simulation training for emergency thrust loss. The outcome of this investigation will likely have far-reaching consequences, not only for Air India but for global aviation safety protocols surrounding Dreamliner operations. Final reflection. The crash of Air India Flight AI-171 is more than a number in aviation history. It is a human tragedy that left 270 people dead, dozens injured, and thousands grieving. It is a story of technical mystery, personal heroism, and profound loss. While commercial aviation continues to be one of the safest modes of transportation, this event underscores that even the most advanced technology can fail, and when it does, the results are catastrophic. In honoring those lost, the global aviation industry must redouble its commitment to ensuring such a tragedy is never repeated. Thank you for watching. Our hearts go out to all the families affected by this unimaginable tragedy. If you found this report informative, please like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated on developing stories from around the world. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an important update. And let us know in the comments, what do you think aviation authorities should do to prevent such disasters in the future? Until next time, stay safe and informed.